Daddy's going fishing.
Not again.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a short video. Tonight is a comp night, so I just wanted to show you some of the equipment that I get ready for a comp. So importantly, keeping warm. So I've got my wellies and my thermo suit. I've got my rods and my rod rest. I've got a bucket and a chopping board. Then for my rod rest, I've got a net cradle for putting stuff under my rod rest. I've got my rig holder. I've got 4 reels so that I can change them over if I have a problem. I've got 2 cloths, celebratory chocolate, 2 hand warmers / power banks. I've got my little set of spares, including tip lights, spare hooks, etc. I've got some shock leader. I've got my emergency box, so that's got spare batteries in it. It's got medical stuff just to sort me out if I cut my finger or something. Then scissors, knife, bait elastic, disgorger, plenty of weights, baiting tool, head torch, plenty of rigs. I've got my scales, I've got my weigh sling, got my coffee, got plenty of bait, and then my filming equipment. And all this goes neatly into my seat box. Hey guys, and welcome to Dan-gler Sea Fishing. Tonight I'm on a comp again. We're down Brighstone. I got drawn out pretty late, so I didn't get the spot I wanted. So what I've done is I've had a look along the beach, and I've been watching the way that the waves have been breaking in. And just over here to the left of me, there seems to be a lot less waves than further down there. So there's obviously a rocky sort of reef around just here. And then there's a bit of smoother water just over there. So that indicates that there's slightly deeper water. So I think this should put me in a good line. Our target species tonight is congers. So the rocks should help me down here. And that bit of deeper water should hold them, because when it has been a bit rough, they do tend to go to a bit deeper water, but I'm hoping that's deep enough to hold some of them in here later on. So let's get fishing. So my baits for tonight, I've got squid, I've got mackerel, I've got anchovy, and I've got some ragworm. Rods I'm fishing with tonight is my Any Fish Anywhere 15 multipliers, and I've matched them up with Slosh 20s with a Nova 50-pound braid. The reason I'm using braid is this venue can be a bit snaggy, and I'm expecting where I am to be quite snaggy. So I'm hoping that having the 50-pound braid should be able to pull me out of that. And then I've just paired that up with a 60-pound mono shock leader. So the 2 baits I'm starting with tonight is a short 2-hook clip down. The reason I've kept it short is because it is a snaggier venue. This should stop me from getting stuck too much. So on here I've just got size 10 hooks, and then I've got them paired up with 40-pound fluorocarbon snoods. This should mean that if I do happen to get something quite hefty on it, I can still get it in. I am going to sort of aim for something like a bull huss, or even a big wrasse before it gets dark, hopefully in and around the rocks. So I need something quite hefty to try and get it out there and get it back. So once the sun goes down later, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be switching over to using pulley pennels. I've got a 2.0 pulley pennel with an octopus beak top hook, which I'll show you in a second, which is on there. So the octopus beak is this one at the top. I like them because of the way that they sit, and they've got a slight angle to them, which makes them seem to set the hook better. and then I've just got that on 100-pound snood line and then a 60-pound body going to a 6-ounce lead with a Gemini splashdown. The other rig I'll be using will be another pulley pennel, but it will be a 3.0 and it's just for a slightly bigger bait. So the 4 main tools I like to have out all the time while I'm fishing is my bait elastic, my baiting tool, a pair of scissors and a disgorger. For those of you that don't know about the Gemini disgorgers, they're really useful for unhooking fish, particularly stuff like dogfish and stuff, and I'll try and show you that later. I'm not sure if it shows up on the video, but this water is like chocolate out there today. Here it is in the bucket. You can see how brown that water is. It's well stirred up. So hopefully that should bring some fish in. And at the moment you can see, where just in front of me here, you see where it's white horsing. That's where the rocks are. And I think there's an edge just here of rock, and then there's a smoother area of water just off to my left here. So I think there's probably a ledge just running out over here, and then it finishes around sort of this side of where I'm fishing. So I'm sort of fishing over the top of this ledge in front of me and sort of just to the side of it. So there's many different ways that people like to bait up their ragworm. What I like to do is take my hook and into the mouth. The reason I like to go in through the mouth is this grips onto the hook much better. And then I like to slide it up and just pop the mouth over the eye of the hook, and then you'll end up with a bit of tail like this. I just like to whip that off just so that it can let a load of juice out the bottom and present it like so. So I also forgot that I've got some sand eels with me. So what I've done is I've just taken the head off and then I've just cut the body in half, because I just want them to be about the length of the 1.0 hook, because I just want them to go down the shank here and then just have the hook sticking out the bottom. You don't want it too long, because they will just take the bottom and they won't actually take the bait. So with the squid, I've just popped a squid head on there, just got the hook standing out of the bottom, and then I've just popped a little bit of whipping on there just to hold it in place, but not too much to make it look wrapped on. And then with the sand eel, as I said, I've just popped the body down the length of the shaft there with the hook sticking out the bottom, and then I've just popped a tiny bit of elastic around it just to hold it in place. So because I'm match fishing, what I will do is, although I've got my 2 rigs baited up ready to go out when we get to 5 o'clock, I'm now going to bait up my other 2 rigs that are going to be hanging on my tripod. And that's just because when a fish comes in and we've got that fish ready, we want to be able to get that bait out in the water as quick as possible. If it is in size, we then go get it weighed and then we get it back out. If it's not, we can get that fish straight back in the water and get them baits back out there fishing again. The whole thing with match fishing is you just want to maximise the amount of time that you've got bait in the water. The other thing that you do differently with match fishing to like a normal set of fishing is you will want to change those baits more regularly. The reason being is you want a fresh scent trail in there. There is people that will do like a 15-minute timer on the end of it, that are pros that will do it. But with me, I generally just tend to keep an eye on it, and I would just change them a bit more frequently than I would normally. If it is a big bait, I will leave it out there a bit longer, because they do take a bit longer to sort of wash out. But definitely with stuff like the worms and the smaller baits, I'll be getting them changed in about 15-20 minutes. So with my pennel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a squid and sand eel wrap. So I've just popped my sand eel along the second prong, and then on the other prong there, I've just popped the squid so that I can wrap it around. And then I'm just going to take my bait elastic, I'm just going to whip round so that I've got the sand eel still there on the outside enough that it can leak out juices, but then it's wrapped in with the squid body around it. This should just release lots of scent, and where it's top and ended, it will also release it from both ends of this bait. Now when the pennel is in the top here, it will mean if the fish grabs onto the top, it's got a chance of still hooking it. And when the hook's at the bottom, again, if the fish grabs the bottom, they very rarely grab the middle unless you're making your bait way too big for your hook set. So we're nearly ready. As I said, we're fishing Brighstone tonight. Target species is congers. Do get quite a lot of congers down here, particularly this time of year. But there is a good chance of all sorts coming out of here tonight. The other species that I would be quite keen on trying to get tonight is a bullhuss. You do get them around here. But there's a good chance of dogfish, whiting, rays. Yeah, there's a large variety of different fish that could come in. Could be a bass that comes in. Because we are in February, you can't take them home at the moment, but that doesn't mean that we can't weigh them in for a comp if they're in size. Where our club is catch and release, we aren't restricted by the same rules as everything else. Because all of our fish are just weighed here and then released out, we're still releasing everything back in perfectly good condition. So it doesn't matter that we're out of season for the bass. If we do catch them, we can weigh them in and then we can get them released, safe to go and breed with the rest of them. So we're just getting ready to cast out. There's a minute until 5 o'clock and then we're going to get these baits out. Wish me good luck. Be nice to get a nice early fish, get on the board nice and quick, soften the nerves, get me nice and relaxed. Got some big rollers coming in here now. So we've got baits in the water. I think it's probably a bit too dark and a bit too cloudy for any wrasse. But I put some worm baits out, might have a chance of a pout or an early whiting, something like that. The water is very cloudy, so there could be some fish around out there already. Might also pick up a bass. It is sat in on the rollers over there. But because we've got braid on, I have got my drag set quite loose, just in case, because it will be quite aggressive. There's not a lot of stretching in my line at all, apart from what's on there as the shock leader. The braid will not stretch at all. The braid I'm using is a Nova 50-pound braid. The reason I'm using this one is it's slightly thicker. It's around 0.4, which is quite similar to what I would use on the mono. The reason I don't want it too thin is because on the multipliers, if it is too thin, it just tends to bite in on itself. Oh, that looked like a bite on the left down one there. Yeah, there's definitely something nibbling at this one. I'm going to get the one on my right in, just because it is really rolling around in them breakers and I want to get it out slightly further. So although I've got other rigs baited up, this one I'm just going to take these worms off and just get some fresh worms on there and then get them back out. I'm not worrying too much about rushing that bait straight out there. Those other ones, they're a little bit more for when it's a bit darker. Although it is getting quite dark already. Oh yeah, that was a good bite. That looks like a pout. Oh, we've got a fish.
we've got a pout. Is it in size? Well, fish first cast. Can't moan at that. Ooh. There we are, guys, a lovely pout. I think he's just undersized, so we're going to pop this one back. But little pout to start, let's pop him back. So the reason I'm not just whipping out the baits that I've already got ready there is just because these smaller baits are exactly what I want out in the water at the moment. So I'm not quite ready to flick over and go for a big one. So I just want to get these ones back out there. Yeah, that pout was close to being in size, but it looked like it was just on the 22 to 23, not 23 and above. 23 being the target. Well, a fish first cast. They ain't too bad. Let's hope we can continue and hopefully get one that's just in size. Ooh, was that a bite? That looked like a bite. Yeah, that's a bite. Oh. Oh. Is that snagged in or? Oh guys, we've got a conger this time. But he's not that big, so we'll double check, see what weight he looks. I've got my scales here as well, so we can check the weight on this one. So I'm just gonna check the weight on this one, just to see if it's worth taking down for the scales. If it's under a pound, it's not. $14.5, just off. Oh well, that's 2 fish, but nothing worth weighing yet. Oh, there we are. God, this is busy. Go on, go again. It still looks like it's there. Another pout. Ah, there's certainly fish out there, but none of them in size so far. So there we are. Another little pout, but again, pretty sure this is definitely not in size because it looks smaller than the last one. No. So we'll chuck this one back as well. Don't know about you guys, I'm knackered already. What is going on? So I can feel how snaggy this is proving when I'm hooking up. There's definitely quite a few snags out there, so the braid so far is feeling like a really good choice because it's just allowing me to get out of those snags. Right, I've just got to take 5 minutes to put some tip lights on so that I can see what I'm doing. Oh, was that a bite? I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I don't know if that was a bite or not. Might have just been me slipping down the slope. Oh yes, that's definitely a bite. That's another pout, but this one is definitely in size. There you go, guys. Nice pout, that one. Just double check that size, but I'm pretty confident that is definitely in size. Oh, well over. Right, cool. I'm gonna go get this one weighed in. Well, guys, we're on the board already. 4:45, it's not too bad. 4 fish already, let's get some more. So because I've not really had a chance to actually put any other baits together, and we seem to be getting a lot of hits on the smaller baits at the moment, I'm just going to send this 2.0 pulley back out while I get my baits sorted and up together. That's a bite. Bloody hell. Right, you guys keep an eye on them ones for me so I can get some baiting up done. So that rig that I had the conger on, just looking at the hook, the actual bottom hook had bent out, and that's because where the braid has that extra strength, it means I can bend out these thin wire hooks, which is why I like using thin wires and the braid for this type of venue. So as I was saying, with the braid and the thin wire hooks, what happens is when they snag up, you can just bend them out like this. So guys, it's been a pretty busy start. At least we're on the board, yes. Always like getting one on the board nice and early. Within the first 45 minutes is pretty good. And it's been so busy, I've barely had a chance to think about a coffee or a celebratory chocolate. But we'll crack that open in a bit. At the moment, while the fish are biting, we just got to keep on fishing and try and get as many in-size fish as possible. Oh, yep, that's a bite. Looks like it's still there. Oh, that's about a bite. Change of rods. Ah, I missed that one. All right, let's get the other one in. Shoot one of these back out. And then we'll rebait one of these as well. Actually, I might just rebait both for now. Although we do have a 3.0 there that I could just whack out quickly. Right, so next bait to go out is just a pulley pennel. I've got mackerel and squid wrapped up there. Stupid tip light. Oh. Oh, hello. Well, that was a conger. You can tell because it is completely wrapped up that bait. Sorry about the green tip light, guys. I will get that sorted in a moment. Well guys, it's been a bit mental so far, constant bites. Still only managed the one pout to weigh in so far, but I'm holding out hope that we've got something better coming later. Conditions have got a bit rougher now. So just sending out now a half an anchovy or pilchard, whatever the bigger ones are. And it's all nice and bloody. Hopefully that'll help us find them congers. Well guys, we got a fish. Actually looks like this one could be a bull huss. Let's work it out. Could just be a fat doggy. Well guys, another fish to weigh in. Lovely dogfish. Let's go weigh him in. Well guys, another one on the board. 1 pound 6.5, that one. Let's keep plugging away. That was actually on the half an anchovy I've just sent out, so I'm gonna send it back out because it's still in pretty good condition. Normally I wouldn't do this in a match, but because I've been so busy, I'm struggling to keep up with rebaiting. So just going to bait up a whole squid on here. I like to push the head up a bit inside them and then really wrap them up and squish them down a little bit just to shorten that bait slightly, just because otherwise you will get a fish try and bite in the middle there. So you want both your hooks sort of proud, sticking out so that you get less false bites. So I've just baited them up like so, with the two hooks sticking out nice and proud, both ends of the body, and then just whipped it all together. Hopefully going forward I should have a light that mounts on the camera just so that when I do these close-ups it should be a bit brighter and easier for you to see. So guys, we're about 2.5 hours in now. It has gone a bit quieter, but I am pumping some bigger baits out there now, which are going to take a little bit longer to get bites, but I don't seem to be getting the smaller bites that I was getting earlier that were coming on a lot quicker. So hopefully we should be starting to move into some slightly bigger fish as we move forward. We're just getting to coming up for middle of the comp, which is about high tide. So we are starting to get some bigger waves rolling in, which is going to make things a little bit trickier bringing fish in, and it's a little bit trickier with keeping the lights still. Oh my goodness, it's a three-beard rockling. That was not what I was expecting at all. This was actually on my target for the year. So guys, let me show you this one. So this is a three-beard rockling. You can tell by the colour on it and the fact it's got 3 barbs on it. But this was actually on my target list for this year, which I'm absolutely shocked at because I wasn't really aiming for one down here. Well guys, just another little show of him. Beautiful little fish. Well guys, he wasn't overly big, but I am absolutely chuffed to bits with that. That was one of them fish I was just really like, I've not caught one of the 3-bearded ones, and I said that this year I was going to try and aim for a 3-beard. I've caught loads of the little common ones, but the 3-beard was on my list to get this year. So I'm absolutely chuffed to bits, and the fact that I could weigh him in because he was over 20 centimetres is brilliant. So yeah, 3 fish on the board, 3 different species. Long may this continue, this is great. Well guys, I was going to save my celebratory chocolate in case I get the target species of the night, but because I am absolutely chuffed to bits with that little rockling, I'm actually going to have my celebratory chocolate now, which is Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Cheers! So I don't know if you can see that guys, but just seen this washed up on the beach. It's hatched. It's obviously split open, so there's nothing in it. But that is like a baby dogfish or a baby taupe or a shark species or a ray species. This is what they grow in. They attach them to the weed. So now just switching over to the whole squid. My main target with this is to try and find a conger with it. They do like the squid, so that's why I'm going to put on a bit more squid now. What was that? Ooh. Well guys, not much has happened really. We're now at 9:30. It's gone very quiet. The bites seem to have slowed up. Oh, as I said that, got a bite on the right hand rod. Go on, go again. So on the sand eel on the bottom, so that would suggest that might have been another rockling. Might be a way to go forward just to try and get some more fish on the board. It hadn't been out there very long, that one, so the fact it had a bite so quickly and then got snagged up would suggest it was a rockling. And they do seem to like the sand eel, so let's pop a bit more out there, see if we can find one to actually hook up this time. Oh, hello. That looked like a bit of a bite on the green one. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well guys, we've got another fish, but you know when I said about those baby eggs, I think we've got one that's just hatched. Well guys, this is not the cutest, smallest little dogfish you've ever gonna see. I don't know what it is. He's a very cute little fella. Oh, that was a better bite on that one. So he's 34 centimetres, which is too small. So here, go back, but say goodbye. Right, well, just over 45 minutes left to go. Gonna try and mix it up. Not really sure whether to go with smaller scratching baits now. Just see if we can pick up some smaller fish just to add to the bag. Or do I go for broke and go with the bigger baits? I think because our target species is congers, I am going to try and stick with some bigger baits. Just see if we can wangle out a conger that's over a pound. Well, I've just baited up what I call a desperation rig, which is when you get into the end of the night and you're just getting desperate to try and grab that one last fish or get that fish to get you on the board, and you just load up one of those hooks with loads of bait. So because I've still got a few worm left, I've absolutely loaded them. There's 6 worm in there in total, so 3 on each hook, and I've really just packed that out. Hopefully that might be able to entice something, maybe a larger pout, dogfish, or even a conger. But yeah, hopefully it can just grab something. I'll probably send that out in about a couple of minutes or so on this red one, and just swap that out and see if we can get anything on that. Ooh. That's why we use a desperation rig. I think that may have been another one of them rockling. I think it's just sort of dragged it into a bit of a snag. We'll leave it there and see what it does first. I'm just going to bring that one back in. Where we had that bite, I just want to double check that the bait is still intact where it's worm, and then I'll get it straight back out there. Well, I'll say one thing, guys. You definitely don't need a workout after spending a night fishing on this type of beach. Yeah, anyone who's fished on these types of beach will know how hard it is to walk on this stuff. It's just knackering just going up and down to the water. Well guys, it's almost time. The way this session started, I did expect it to kick on and be a real busy session, but it does seem to have gone really quiet halfway through, so seem to be getting a few bites now, but don't know if I'm going to get anything before the end there. But it's been a fairly successful session. I've had a decent amount of fish for this time of year. I managed to get on the board, which is always a bonus in these first couple of comps, and I'm chuffed to bits with the three-beard rocklin, just because it was on my target list for a species I wanted to add to my list this year. I thought I was going to have to go out on an individual session for them, but it looks like I've already ticked that one off, so I can start work on a new species. Been really surprised there's not been more congers around tonight, but that's how it goes. When you're looking for dogfish, you can't catch dogfish, and when you're trying to catch a conger, you can't find the ones that are in size. But that's just luck of the draw. Still got a couple of minutes left, so just leaving them out there. I'll start getting them in a minute. But that is another comp over, unless I catch anything now. So well done to everyone who's managed to catch fish tonight. Hopefully I should be able to pop some scores up so you can at least see how the comp went. And once again, thank you for everyone that's been watching and subscribing. The comments have been really nice, so if you are enjoying my videos, please leave a comment. Makes my day. It's funny, like there was a couple of comps last year where literally at the last minute I managed to hook a fish, which either boosted me up that table or managed to get me on the board. So it is always worth fishing right up until that last minute. But I'm gonna have to bring these in soon. 2 minutes remaining. So again, thanks for watching. I should have a light on the camera soon, which should hopefully make it a bit easier for close-up videos. But for everyone that is watching, thanks for watching, and if you do like my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you then.